John Hinderaker. He's an attorney from the U.S., and he's going to talk about the legal background to all of this and the abuse of power by the radical left, which has been on gross display this week. So here is U.S. Attorney and President of the Center of the American Experiment, John Hinderaker. John, thank you so much for your time. Let's get straight into this. Donald Trump called the raids this week weaponized politicization, but the White House press secretary disagreed. Let's have a look at what she had to say.
Is this administration weaponizing the Justice Department and the FBI against political opponents?
Peter, the president believes in the rule of law. The president believes in the independence of the Department of Justice.
That's a yes or no? Just
no, that
the
is
White House.
No. It's a yes or a no for you. I'm answering the question. You may not like it, but I'm answering the question, I'm answering the question, and I'm telling you that we are not going to comment on a criminal investigation. The president has been very clear.
John Hinderaker, who's right here, Karine Jean-Pierre or Donald Trump?
Well, the United States has never been a country where if you lose an election, you have to worry that your successor is going to try to throw you in jail. There are a lot of countries like that around the world. The U.S. has never been one of them, but that is what we are seeing here. It is clear that the Democrats are determined to discredit Donald Trump using criminal processes, and if at all possible, to put him in prison. I mean, this is a watershed moment in American history.
And I mean, as you say, this is the sort of thing that we see in Banana Republic type countries. Is this having a blowback with the American people? Are ordinary Americans saying, hold on a second, the Democrats, the White House have gone too far here?
A lot of people are saying that, James. You know, there's a lot that we don't know. You know, the Presidential Records Act passed in 1978 because presidents would always take a bunch of documents when they left the White House. They would put them in their private library and refer to them to write their memoirs. Every president did this. So in 1978, they passed the Presidential Records Act, which says that all these records are the property of the National Archives and they should all stay. And so when presidents leave, they always take some stuff and they always negotiate with the National Archives and it gets worked out. And that's happened here. President Trump gave 15 boxes of documents back to the National Archives that initially he had taken with him. He apparently has got 15 more boxes in his basement at Mar-a-Lago. In May, people from the National Archives came and looked through them so they know what's there. He went down to the basement and said hi and shook their hands. The idea that there's some kind of great criminality going on here, frankly, seems absurd.
And John, I mean, let's talk about the FBI for a second here. This is the same FBI that refused to do anything about Hillary Clinton when she was dealing with classified documents as Secretary of State on her own private email server, that's refused to do anything about Hunter Biden despite extensive evidence of dubious activity on his laptop, and which in 2016 tried to have, well, at least had some members of the FBI, we now know, trying to stitch Donald Trump up as a Russian agent. What needs to happen to this once prestigious law enforcement agency?
Well, it certainly needs new leadership, James. Some people think the agency needs to be done away with and just start over again with a new agency, with a new charter. Let me make a quick point here, James. There is no analogy between what Hillary Clinton did and what Donald Trump did. Hillary Clinton, while she was the Secretary of State, was conducting official business on an off-the-books illegal server located in her house that was insecure and that the Russians and Chinese easily could have accessed and very likely did. That was terrible. Donald Trump is sitting there with 15 boxes of goodness knows what old documents in his basement. I mean, this is nothing compared to what Hillary Clinton did.
Yeah, I mean, I think the double standard there is pretty apparent, John. And I want to ask, though, you know, we're talking about the president, but I also am hearing that a lot of Americans are also concerned about what is in this spending bill that the Biden administration is pushing through, where they're going to hire 87,000 new IRS agents. For Australians, that's like the ATO. A lot of people are calling this a war on the middle class because people who don't make a lot of money, they're going to be in the frame of audits. What is happening here, and how on earth could this be good for solving inflation or any of the other economic problems that the United States is facing?
James, this boggles the mind. I mean, I've never heard anybody say that it would be popular politically to hire tens of thousands of new IRS agents to go after Americans. And if you look at the budget proposal that we're talking about here, the administration contemplates that these 87,000 new agents are going to bring in many, many tens of billions of dollars in new tax revenue. Well, where are they going to get it? They're going to get it from small business people. These are the ones who are most often subject to audits, and these are the ones that the Biden administration is going to be going after. I'll also say, James, that a lot of people are concerned in the U.S. that part of the story is that the Biden administration wants to go after conservative nonprofits using the IRS to harass them and to tie them up in legal knots and potentially drive them out of business. I run a nonprofit, and this is something that's of real concern to me. So 87,000 IRS agents have the potential to do a lot of mischief.
They certainly do, and we know that a bunch of conservative groups banded together years ago and actually won an apology and a settlement because the IRS was undertaking that exact behavior you talk about. It's very worrying stuff. John Hinderaker, thank you so much for joining